Hey everybody, I'm Veljko. In this video, we're gonna install the oil pressure gauge on my Peugeot 207 GTI. For those of you who didn't see, I already installed the boost gauge on my Peugeot, and you can see here. Now, I bought this. This is the same company that made the boost gauge, so it's gonna fit nicely. It's the same design, just a different purpose. This one is the oil pressure gauge, and it looks nice. I bought it for around 28 euros. But this is not the only thing on my table. I also bought the adapter for much easier installation, and also the gauge pod. I'm gonna unbox all three right now and explain to you the process of installation. It's not that hard. I have everything that I need, so let's start unboxing. Let's start with the oil pressure gauge first. So I'm gonna open. I've already opened it, but I'm gonna open again for you. I'm gonna show you the actual oil pressure gauge. This button changes the background lighting. It has many colors available, which is very nice. So let's put that aside. You also get instructions, the wiring, and the oil pressure sensor. It's not that big, which I like, but on my Peugeot, the OEM oil pressure sensor, it's very cramped in that area, so I couldn't find the right adapter for it. So that's why I had to buy this one that has the extension hose. I'm gonna open and show you. So this one goes to where the OEM oil pressure sensor is, and then it goes from the engine to where I want. And at the end, this is where the OEM oil pressure sensor goes, for you to not have a check engine light. And this one is for your oil pressure gauge sensor to go in. So this just takes off, and this one is put. And they give you this one so you can mount it where you want. Now this wasn't cheap. This was, I think, like 40 euros, but it's a good quality. This one is, the company is from UK. And lastly, this is the gauge pod. I'm gonna show you. This one was 3 euros, which is like laughably cheap. I mean, it is a plastic, this one is a plastic housing, but this part that you install on the dash is metal, so that's good. I mean, that's more important. So I'm gonna open this and show you how it will look like. Okay, there it is. And you also get the adhesive on both sides, which is very, very nice. That's how I'm gonna mount it. I don't wanna drill any holes. Hope you can see it. And you mount like this on the dash where you like. So I showed you everything, and now the installation part. Let's go. Let's unscrew the OEM oil pressure sensor first. Happily, there are no fault codes regarding the OEM oil pressure sensor. And there are no oil leaks as well, so job well done. Now it's time to place the gauge into the gauge pod. Next up, the boring part, cable management. As you see, we connected the ground wire right there. And the signal wire goes, of course, in the cabin to the oil pressure gauge. Lastly, the 12-volt cable for background lighting. You can see the plus is connected to one of those fuses, the blue fuses. They are for dipped headlights or the low beams.
Ay, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, big been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action, bitch, I'm active. If you never heard of it, dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping, keep it in my body.
I showed you some day and night shots of the gauges, how they're lit up and how they look. To me, I think they look amazing, and the placement for them, I think it's the best and the easiest. I thought of putting them on the A-pillar, but then I thought that would ruin my forward visibility a little bit. The A-pillar will be thicker, let's say. So I ended up placing them here, and I'm not regretting it. And I didn't tell you how I mounted the gauge to the gauge pod. And I did it using this. It's a double-sided tape. And I put small pieces on the gauge here, here, and here, 3 of them, so they can't rattle in the housing. And then I just pop it in. And so far it looks pretty secure. And of course I put the same double-sided tape that I actually got from the gauge pod, and that's how I mounted it to the car. I didn't use any screws, of course. Now this one I didn't finish. I have to bend these pieces to match this slight curve on the dash so that it's gonna look flush. That's all for this video. I really love how it looks when it's all finished, and I hope I helped some of you who are planning to do the same. Anyway, I will see you in the next video as we continue the Peugeot 207 GTI's tuning project. Bye!